a response to a comment from the Peanut Gallery on my video, Why the USA Ice Hockey Gold Medal is Garbage. We're going to scroll down right here. We'll skip over the insults because it's ridiculous and counterproductive. So his main point is we have more people, but they have way more ice time due to weather. So that's definitely an exaggeration. They have a little bit more time, but not much. It's a tertiary factor compared to wealth and population amount. And we're going to get into some maps right now. So down here is the southernmost point of Canada, and 49th parallel is right around here approximately. And within here, under the 49th parallel, right in here is where about 70% of the Canadian population is. So you can see it's about the same for the United States right here, aligned with the United States. And within this area of the United States, there's more population, more United States population than Canada has in their entire country. So that is one factor. And then we can go to this map over here, and you'll be able to see, if you look at the red and orangish areas, this is where most of the Canadian population is. This line right here is the approximately the 100-mile mark from the U.S. border. So around 80-85% of the Canadian population lives within that region, and especially down here as well. The one exception is Edmonton. It's pretty cold up there, but again, it's still more sparsely populated. The yellow might look a little deceiving, but it's really the orange and red areas you want to concentrate on, and not these dots necessarily. Okay, so another thing about British Columbia, especially on the coast out here, is that the climate is a lot different than, say, Edmonton or Upper Ontario or something like that, or Thunder Bay. It's much more warm, sort of like Seattle, or much more mild winters. So yeah, so about 20% of the population, Canadian population, will have some, maybe a month or two more ice time, maybe. But the problem with that as well is that there's weather factors that you're not always going to be going outside. So most people do play organized, or they play inside of ice hockey rinks, especially down here in the populated areas, just like people up here. Yeah, for a couple months, the kids out here are going to be going outside and playing ice hockey, and that is a factor. But again, it's tertiary compared to wealth and population amount. So we're also going to look at rinks, which is we're going to talk about rinks, which is they've been around since the late 1800s, and from British technology that quickly spread to Canada. And so now even a place like Florida, which has a large portion of its area in the tropics, creates approximately 20 NHL players currently, which is more than Manitoba, or about the same as Manitoba. It's let's see who else out here. It's more than Nova Scotia and more than Saskatchewan. So I'm not saying there's high quality players on average, but they're still very high quality considering that they're in the NHL. So yeah, rinks totally debunk that argument. Wealth and population, and by the way, rinks, especially like in the tropics down here, are going to be very expensive to maintain. Wealth is very important, especially in ice hockey, for equipment, maintaining ice hockey rinks, and of course other sports infrastructure that is required for any sport. Another thing we could talk about is Sweden. Sweden is actually further north than most of the Canadian population, but due to the climate out there, due to the ocean currents, they also have more mild winters. So that also can't be used. This argument would be much better used for Norway and why they win so many medals. That's part of the reason. It's much more, their geography is much more of a factor in their medal count. But however, their wealth and population is still more important. So if they were, if the Congo had the same climate as Norway, they wouldn't be winning all those medals, essentially.